Ready whenever? All right. Well, I would like to welcome you all to Arbor Day 2024. I am Jeremy Stout. I work at the Nature Center at Steel Creek Park, and I am so thankful to have here today Bristol, Tennessee City Schools. Thank you to them for hosting this event, especially Anderson Elementary, Mr. Sproles for having us here. And thanks so much to you, fourth grade, because you are the ones that we want to officially take part in Arbor Day 2024 with us. We're also thankful to have our Bristol, Tennessee Tree City USA board, of which we have Mr. David Hacker, who's with us today, and also Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services. You're going to meet them in a few moments. This is also an event that is assisted by the Bristol, Tennessee Department of Parks and Recreation. Mr. Mike Maines, our director, is here today. This is also attended by the Tennessee Division of Forestry. We have Mr. Michael Tunnell, who you're going to meet in a moment, and Cody Buck, who's here with the Division of Forestry. And right now, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to some Bristol, Tennessee City School folks. So right now, the principal of your school, Mr. John Sproles.
Thank you, Mr. Stout, and we're excited just to be able to host Arbor Day here at Anderson. It's a big day for us. I'm excited that all of our fourth graders can come out. They can hang out with us and be a part of it. So thank you, fourth graders. Thank you to everybody that's part of Arbor Day for the work that they have put in so far. Another tree out on the playground, and obviously this area right here. So at this time, I want to turn it over to our superintendent. Come on forward. Dr. Tudor. And we're going to switch our lovely microphone over.
Thank you very much. Boys and girls, why are we here?
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day. Say that again. Boys and girls, why are we here? Arbor Day. And what are we doing on Arbor Day? Arbor Day's already happened. It actually happened in April, right? But we're celebrating it today. What are we doing today? And the trees are already planted. You guys get to lay some mulch to protect the trees that have been planted. So there's one on the playground and one right here, as Mr. Sproles mentioned. And we celebrate Arbor Day because we want to plant trees because they help us in a lot of ways. They provide a space for animals to live. They provide shelter for folks. You use them to build houses or build, you know, different things. Part of Anderson Elementary was built out of wood, wasn't it? So when we use that wood, we have to replenish it. So that's why it's such a good thing that we do this. And you're probably going to hear from Mr. Stout in just a minute how long that we've been doing that in the city of Bristol, Tennessee. It's been a really long time. You're going to hear that in his proclamation that came from the city. So I also want to say thank you to the folks that are here, certainly fourth graders for being here, and your teachers, Mr. Sproles for hosting us. We actually rotate and do this in a different elementary school every year. So this year it was Anderson. Last year it was a different elementary school. We appreciate the partnership with the city of Bristol, Tennessee. BTES, I think, is the one who sponsors this for us. They buy the tree that is planted by city staff. Certainly the Division of Forestry in supporting that, and BTES again, and the Tree City USA board, I think, has already been mentioned. Jeremy Stout, you all know from the Nature Center. He's probably been here to present things for you before, and you've probably been to the Nature Center. So I'm going to also recognize Kay Ward. Give a little wave for us, Kay. If you all don't know her, she works for our school district, and she organizes this event for our school system. So we appreciate everyone being here and supporting this. It's something that we do every year, and we're grateful for the partnership from all the folks that are here, but certainly grateful that our students get to learn about Arbor Day and learn about the importance of planting trees and replenishing that resource. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Stout, who's going to, I think, read the proclamation and go into the why we're here.
Thank you, Dr. Tudor. So Arbor Day is a big event. It is a national holiday. Like Dr. Tudor said, nationally, it's the last Friday in April. Tennessee recognizes its own Arbor Day that is typically the first Friday in March. Is that correct, forestry friends? Yeah, so some municipalities, they'll have their Arbor Day in November sometimes. It's any time can be a good time to plant a tree as long as it's not the driest, hottest parts of June and July. But there's a lot that goes into it. And so your community, Bristol, Tennessee, is what's called a Tree City USA. And we've been a Tree City USA for 36 years. And so to earn that Tree City USA designation, our forestry folks are going to tell you more about that in just a moment. But one of the things that goes into it is that each year there has to be an official proclamation that's set forward by the Bristol, Tennessee City Council. And so proclamations, I always make the joke that they're written in King James English. They're very official speak. But this was our Arbor Day proclamation for this year that was officially enacted by our City Council last month in April. And it's a proclamation designating Bristol Arbor Day Earth Day. Whereas trees can reduce the erosion of precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance economic vitality of the business area, and beautify our community, and whereas Arbor Day, Earth Day is a unique celebration focusing not on the past, but on the future, and by planting these small trees, we affirm our faith in that future. And whereas the city wishes to thank the tree board members for their efforts in helping to improve the quality of life in our city, therefore, on this second day of April 2024, the mayor of the city of Bristol, Tennessee, does hereby proclaim Bristol Arbor Day, Earth Day in the city of Bristol and urge all citizens to plant trees and commend them for their efforts in reforesting our city. Signed by your mayor, Mr. Vince Turner. So that was the proclamation that we received in last month, April 2nd of 2024. And to talk more about this event, I want to turn it over to the Tennessee Division of Forestry representative, Mr. Michael Tunnell. Let's give him a round of applause.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out to the City of Bristol's Arbor Day celebration. The award that I'm presenting today is to recognize and recertify the City of Bristol as a Tree City for 36 consecutive years, and also a Tree Line USA for 24 consecutive years. This means the City of Bristol is a dual role community since they are receiving an award for both the Tree Line City and Tree Line. There are 4 qualifications to be a Tree City USA. Number 1, has to have a tree ordinance. Number 2, spend $2 per capita on trees for each person. Number 3, the city must have a tree board. Number 4, the city must have an Arbor Day celebration. At this time, I would like to present the maple leaf pin that will be given to place on the city plaque. I think this goes along with it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Now I would like to present the Tree Line Award. There are 4 main qualifications in becoming a Tree Line USA. Number 1, the utility must trim according to ANSI A-300 printing standards. The utility must participate in local community programs. Number 3, the utility must have a tree replacement program for placing small growing trees under power lines, or sponsor a local tree planting effort of the city. The utility must participate or sponsor a local Arbor Day program. And I guess you have the, yeah. I would also like to thank everyone for supporting the City of Bristol and retaining their Tree City USA and Tree Line USA designation.
So I'll tell you what, if we have the frame for it, this might be a great time if we could get the BTES folks and the school folks to show their flags, maybe even grab a couple of you all to help show those flags. Are there some that have volunteered to help us out with a couple of tasks? All right, I'll tell you what, if we can grab, let's see, I think we need, yeah, you and you, both of you guys, come on up. Let's see if we can get a couple of hands in here. And you two on the end, both wearing pinky purple. Yeah, you guys grab a corner of a flag here. Jump up here with your folks. Yeah, it might take two hands. There we go. We need forestry folks. Yeah, you guys need to jump in here.
Get Cody up here.
Yeah, Cody Buck. You've been called, sir. He thought he could escape
Yeah.
Arbor Day this year, didn't he? Thank you guys, great work. All right. Am I back on? All right. So here's the last thing. Arbor Day is an important holiday. I want to jump off and talk a little bit more about what Dr. Tudor was talking to you all about. Because a tree is many things, right? So a tree, can it be a home? Absolutely. For us, do we use trees for homes? Very much so. Even behind this, this red brick right here, like Dr. Tudor said, even in Anderson Elementary, there are wooden beams and trusses. We've been building homes and structures out of trees for as long as we've had civilization. So trees are homes, right? But that's also true for wildlife. Do they use trees for homes? Yeah, of course, you know this. Let's see, do trees do anything else for us? What did you say? They help us breathe. Oh yeah, trees just happen to give us, they take in one thing and they give off something else. What do they take in?
They take in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen, in which lets us breathe oxygen. Without trees, we wouldn't be able to survive. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing with grass and other.
You got it. So we're going to talk about that grass and the other green things in just a moment, but you're exactly right. Trees and other green plants, you know, because this is fourth grade. Let's use some of our fourth grade words here. You look around, this is a green world we live in, especially right now, right? And so you look, and the color that you see most of around you that's a natural color is green. And green, whenever you see that in nature, that's because green is taking in carbon dioxide, which is poisonous to us, and it locks that away and gives off, what did you tell me? Oxygen. It takes in CO2 and it gives off oxygen. And we breathe that, right? That's the stuff that we need to breathe. But we could take that a step further and we could say, do trees provide us food as well? Okay, you might be thinking, I like to eat apples and peaches, and those come from trees. And you'd be right. But I would argue to you all, and you should know this in fourth grade, that the products of photosynthesis are everything we are ever going to eat. Because let's think about this. Every green part of every plant is getting its energy from where? From the sunshine, right? And it takes that sunshine energy and it turns that into food energy that the plant uses, right? And that just so happens to be all of the energy that we are ever going to get in our whole lives as well. Because think about it. Everything you've ever eaten is the product of photosynthesis. And you might be thinking, no, not me, Mr. Jeremy. I hate salads and greens are gross and my mom gets mad at me every night because I don't eat my vegetables. Bingo, that's exactly right. Even if all you ever eat is beef, chicken, and pork, well, guess what? All of the nutrition that cow, chicken, and pig got came from what? Came from plants, which got their energy from the sunshine. We are all solar powered. So trees, green parts of plants, they are homes, they are oxygen, they are food. We quite literally could not live without them. So thanks again so much to everyone that's made Arbor Day possible. I greatly appreciate fourth grade, you all being here to help us celebrate. We have planted 2 trees for you on Anderson's campus here. So there is a red maple that will provide shade and fun for probably your kids someday, because maples are, takes a while for them to get into being great big trees. But we've also planted one of my favorite trees. This red buckeye behind me is a little bit wilty because it was a transplant. It was not a potted tree. And we grew this at the Nature Center for many years before we realized it was actually a little too big for the space where it was. And so we thought in this corner right here that needed a small tree or a big bush would be a great place right here at Anderson. So this tree is not going to get big, especially if it's pruned. It is going to have beautiful red flowers on it that are going to attract hummingbirds and butterflies and Baltimore Orioles that will come get nectar from these flowers. And so hopefully you all will be able to enjoy this for your short time left here at Anderson and for many more generations of Anderson students after you all. So if we could, there is one thing that this tree needs. It has been planted, but now it needs to be mulched. And I wonder if we have a handful of volunteers that can help us. Now, it's a dirty job. Your hands are gonna get pretty crusty. All right, so let's see if we can take you, and you. Yeah, come on over. All right. So don't get your feet in this red clay mud right here. Come take you some big scoops. Really get your hands in there and let's get some mulch around that tree. Sorry about that, didn't mean to step on you. Now we're gonna do this, sometimes you see where people mulch incorrectly. We're not gonna build a big mulch volcano up on the tree. We're not gonna do a weird shaped donut around the tree. Yeah, that's right. Just a couple of inches of good solid mulch around the base. Now, see, we've got a representative from one of my favorite groups of people in the whole world here today. All the people here are my favorite people in the world. But Dr. John Cowan is one of our gardeners with the Friends of Steel Creek Nature Center and Park. And I think he would probably put you all to work in the gardens around the Nature Center because you're doing a great job.
Yeah, Mr. Jeremy? I'm Jeremy.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Jeremy. All right, good job. Rest of fourth grade, let's give these guys a round of applause because they did a great job. All right, so you all, it's your job to keep an eye on this tree, and if you think it needs water or replaced mulch, you politely let your teachers or Mr. Sproles know that your tree at Arbor or at Anderson needs a little bit of attention, all right? Well, thank you all so much. This concludes our Arbor Day celebration. I appreciate everybody for being here and for watching wherever they are.